Welcome to the Prop Market. I'm your host, the Prop King, and today I have my show on how to make money on Prize Picks. So it is very, very important if you're a gambler, if you're betting, that you make money from it, because if not, it is just not fun. There is three layers and three ways to make money on Prize Picks or any other gambling site, but specifically we're going to focus on Prize Picks today. The number one layer is how to bet. You must know how to bet, and we're going to go over that. Then you must know how to research. It's very important to do your own research along with researching with other tools. And then number three, how to be profitable. So just because you did good research, just because you made good bets, does not necessarily mean you will be profitable. So I'm going to go over those three layers with you today, and it's very detailed. I know it's not a pick show. I know I'm not giving out picks, and some of you don't care unless it's some picks given out. But this is probably the best information that I've ever given out. It's way more valuable than two or three picks on a Monday. This is something you can use forever. This is something you can use daily. This is something that will last longer than a daily pick on a free show. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get to how to make money on Prize Picks. So how to bet. We always talk about betting and how to bet, and some people don't really know how to make bets. And I got a little sentence here. The number of bets you win does not decide if you are profitable long term. This is actually true. Now, can you lose all your bets and be profitable? Of course not. But people think that betting and how many bets you make and winning, that makes you profitable. No. I know people that have hit maybe 70, 60% of their bets in a given week or a given time and still weren't profitable because the type of bets they made and how they made their bets. So let's go ahead and get to the number one rule when it comes to making a bet. Very important is that you declare your unit size. And you must stay consistent with it. A unit size is something that you would bet on each pick. For instance, if you're betting on DFS sites, let's say you're betting Luka Doncic and you're betting Josh Giddey, or let's say you're betting Luka Doncic and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Well, whatever your unit size is, you should bet on every single play. Let me give you an example. When I determine my unit size, if you're a beginner, it should be 1%. So if your bankroll is $100, then you should be betting $1 per bet. And I know that seems extremely low, but it's how it is. And you must be disciplined. If you're a handicapper that's been doing this for a while and you're a little bit more profitable, you can do between 2 and 3% per bet. But no one should be betting 5% of their bankroll. No one should be betting 10% of their bankroll on any given pick. Even unless they're giving you a discount on Prize Picks, that's a little different. But then I would still break it up into a lot of different picks. And that's what we're going to talk about next is betting it in volume. So I am a volume bettor. I take pride in that. I don't ever want to just place one five man. You don't ever want to just place one six man. In fact, five man and six man, I rarely place. Placing a six man is like getting a steal on a fast break and pulling up from half court and shooting it instead of going in and trying to make the layup, maybe a mid range, maybe a three even, but pulling up from half court. That's like shooting one six man. That's your chances of it. It's like the roulette table and you put it all on, not even black or red. That's like betting a number. It's very, very small percentage that you're going to hit that six man. But I like to bet in volume, a lot of two mans, and I mix in some five mans as well. I never bet a six man, never. They created the six man to take more money from you. They didn't make a six man so you can win more money. They made a six man so they can take more money. And soon enough, they'll have a seven man because they know the percentages get lower and lower every single pick you make. So, you have to be perfect if you're only betting one. pick a day, and that's just way too much pressure on you and anyone else making picks. Now, we're going to get to why I like to bet volume picks. Well, I like to mix and match. So usually I have a pool anywhere from 5 to 7 picks. And then on those picks, I like to mix them. I have a hammer play, my favorite play. I play that in a lot more times than the other ones. And then I always have a 5-man flex, of course, or I'll have a 4-man flex or even a 4-man power play sometimes, just to kind of counteract if we do have a sweep. But you can still be profitable if you go 4 out of 5 when you're doing that method. As long as your hammer play hits, you can be profitable even going 3 out of 5. Last, time the market. You got to understand when you make your bets, it's very important. So some people make bets in the morning, some people make bets in the evening. Me, myself, I prefer to make the bets early because that's how I feel about my projections. If I'm confident with a pick, I know that the pick I'm getting is going to get moved. It's either going to go lower or it's going to go higher. And I need to make it as soon as possible. So early mornings, late nights are good time to make picks. Now, if you're making a pick on a player that's a popular player or he's been playing really well of late and you want to bet his under, you might want to just wait because eventually that line will get inflated due to public money because people love betting overs. So if you like an under, sometimes waiting a little bit longer does help. And that's why my premium is so important because I can give out those picks at any time throughout the day, unlike my YouTube free videos when I have to post them at a certain time. How to research. Keep what you like, leave what you don't. If you watch my shows, that's kind of my motto. And researching is very important. And what I mean by that, when I gotta clarify, keep what you like, leave what you don't, it means, hey, just because you see it on a free show doesn't mean you should be betting everything you see on free shows. And we'll talk about that a little bit in this segment. But first thing is use online apps. No one is actually paying me, so I'm not going to go into depth about online apps, but there's a lot of apps out there that give really good projections, and I think that's a great tool to use. I created my own projection model, um, but if you don't have something like that, using these online apps to kind of help you navigate through these screens and get projections is always very helpful. Next, find a capper you trust. And when I say find a capper you trust, I mean you need to find someone who you know is going to give you good picks consistently. Free picks versus the premium picks. Obviously, every capper out there is giving out YouTube picks, but those aren't their best picks. Their best picks are in the premium. If you trust the capper, if you feel confident with that capper, you need to hop in that person's premium so you can get their best picks. No one's going to give their best picks for free. Obviously, for me, every pick that I give, I do bet. But if I had a set of 7 picks, I would give the last two on the free show or the last or mix up an accommodation of that and give the rest to the premium guys. A lot of people won't tell you that. A lot of people won't be honest with you. You may think I'm different, but it's true. They're not because the people that are paying them, they have to win for them. It's mandatory because they're paying customers. So they're going to give the best that they have to the people that are paying. Now, watching a bunch of free shows and free picks, you'll probably end up losing long term because those picks are not going to hit at a high rate. And it's just the cost that you're paying. Some people are just playing for fun. But if you're actually trying to make money, you need to find somebody you like. It doesn't have to be me. And that's not why I'm telling you this. It can be anybody. It can be anyone who you find is winning you on free picks. You feel like you're winning on free picks with that person, or you just like their style or you see their proof of work, which I post in their premium, and you hear people's testimonials. I would hop in there just to help you with your research, so you don't have to spend hours on end trying to look up different stats and let them do the work for you. And a lot of times, it's going to be super affordable and not worth your time looking all through all these sites. And it definitely is not worth it surfing through 100 free picks to try to find a winner because you just won't find it consistently. And of course, watch the sport. People have told me, and people have said this before to me, hey, you can win on Prize Picks, you can win on Underdog, whatever the DFS site. You can't win sports betting if you don't watch the sport long term. Now, yes, everything is a lot of things are based on projections and numbers, but if you don't understand the sport, if you don't understand the player, if you've never seen the player, it's going to be very hard to win. I'm not saying base your whole bet on how the player plays, but you definitely want to take a look at it. Give you an example. Everybody's probably been to a horse track or something like that. Yeah, you got the program that tells you the speeds, its recent runs, its recent races, its times. But you also like to take a little peek at that horse when they're walking around. That helps out a little bit when it comes to making your pick. You might see a guy, you see that horse, you might see a horse and be like, I don't know about that horse. So, watching the sport is very important. How to be profitable. You must treat this as a business if you want to be profitable. If you're really serious about it and you want to make some money off prize picks or any type of sports betting, you have to treat it as a business, which means number one, you have to be disciplined, and number two, you have to be consistent. You have to do these things, and then third, most importantly, when you have a business, you got to make sure your product is good. So your product is your bets. And the number one bet on the board is bet unders. And I'm going to talk about that here in a second. But betting unders is very profitable. It's the most profitable bet you can make. A lot of people don't like it, but it is what it is. Next, make good bets. Talk about that here in the next slideshow. And last, cash out. Make sure you cash out every chance you get when you get to your certain amount that you need to. And we'll talk about that here on the next slides. So, player props are always juiced to the over. Under statistically win more often. Let's just be honest. So we're talking about people betting overs and unders. Yes, the public loves overs. So you know who knows that more than anyone? It's these DFS sites. They always juice to the over. So they're gonna, if it's Kevin Durant, they're gonna put his PRA one or two PRA higher than it should be. The points are going to be a little juiced. The yards are going to be a little juiced. The saves are going to be a little juiced. The pitches count is going to be up a little bit. And if they don't start it high, they're going to end it high. So that's just the way it is because most people want to make those over bets. To be honest, in the near future, I see them possibly getting rid of under bets. Not because they're really profitable, and two, there's so many reasons why somebody can go under. I can think of 7 or 8 reasons why someone can go under: injuries, um, change in environment and playing time, underperforming. I always talk about this on my channel. It is a lot harder to outperform your projection than underperform your projection, and that's with anything. That's on your job. And that's just in general. That's just life. It is very hard to overperform. It's way easier to underperform. And there's a lot of reasons why people end up going on their under. So if you're following somebody on YouTube or anything that you watch as far as getting your picks, and someone is only betting overs, that guy is not the guy for you. So we talk about not good bets. The first thing that's not a good bet is a demon slash goblin. And these things were created by Prize Picks not too long ago. I absolutely hate them too. Demons, obviously, they hit at a very low rate, and goblins have a very low payout. So if we're talking about long term. You don't want to make these picks. These picks will not be profitable for you. The demons won't hit enough, and the goblins will hit more often, but they won't be profitable. So make sure you stay away from these two type of picks. Next part, very important. Always pay yourself. Win your money and cash out. It's very important you do this. You want to get your money. You want to get your money right. So make that bank deposit. But before you do that, I will caution you. When you decide to cash out, that is when the DFS site gets alerted, particular prize picks. So you cash out maybe $10,000. Now you're on high alert on prize picks, and they're going to limit your betting because you just took $10,000 out of your account and put it into your actual personal account. And they don't like to lose money. One thing these DFS sites don't like when you withdraw. So when you do withdraw, just be prepared to be limited. You won't get all the opportunities to, get the bonuses and all this type of things. A lot of those things will go away. And if you do, they're going to be limited. So just be prepared for that. But to be honest, it's still better to cash out your winners than not. So if I had a little advice for anyone, I would build up your DFS site, maybe to a certain amount that you feel comfortable at. And when you get to that amount, then you cash out. I will warn you, 94% of people on DFS sites never ever cash out. I'm gonna say that again. 94% of the people on these DFS sites never actually cash out, meaning they never take the money out and put it into their bank account. It is just a very hard thing for a lot of people to do because one, they want to continue to bet, so they need money in there. Or number three, they have some outrageous goal that they want to attain and they just may not get there. So what I say is when you start off in this journey, if you already started off in this journey, have a percentage that you like, and then whatever percentage that is, whatever number that is in your head, then you stick with it. If you're like, I want to make $5,000 on Prize Picks, when your account gets the $5,000 you need to withdraw, almost 5,000 or let it get a little bit over 5,000 and then you withdraw 5,000. You got to have a goal. And if you don't reach that goal, which a lot of people don't, then you just don't cash out. And that's where we get to that number 94% because either people don't reach their goal or they do and they continue to go and they lose that money slowly, slowly, slowly. So always cash out, always get your money. That's the only way you can be profitable for sure, is by cashing out and getting that money in your account. That is the goal of gambling. Most of us, maybe we gamble for fun. Other people gamble because they want to have fun and make money. I can tell you there's a million other hobbies out there that you could be doing that's way cheaper, less risk, less stress. So if you are a gambler, if you are gambling, if you are playing DFS sites, make sure that you have a goal and you cash out. Now go and get your hammer plays here. I have hammer plays for NBA, college basketball, NBA Summer League, NFL, college football. I'll have some baseball content. My premium is very, very affordable right now. It's $25 for 3 months. My competitors sometimes are like $30 a week. So you appreciate the information I gave you today. If you found any of it useful, just know over the long term, I have been profitable. I have a Picket. If you want to see my Picket account, find out, man, I have no problem sharing that with someone who I know is going to be a new subscriber to my Hammer Plays. Do not subscribe to my free plan. I rarely post on there, if never, probably never, because I usually give out free picks on YouTube. So there, if you're going to subscribe, go ahead and get into my Hammer Play, $25 for 3 months. I do appreciate you watching this long show, but I feel like I've given some really good information that's going to really help some people out there. Leave a comment and let me know what you learned. If you have any more questions for me, I will respond to them. So, I'm very open to that. I want this to be something where people can learn. This is an informational channel, and I want to give as much information as I can. With all that being said, keep what you like, leave what you don't, and let's cash.